Yesterday, I am the ghost lady. You cannot see me, but I can.
Yeah.
So when you're dating somebody older,
it's different because like they have like that mindset that they're older.
Right. So
and you feel like, oh, I got away with that. What happened? You said, oh, I can do that again.
yeah.
That's the same thing in a relationship. And once they feel like, oh, you know what? I can get away with this. What is your goal?
I can lie about that.
Another thing.
But I try to explain to him everything, even when people respond in my language, I will translate to him and everything because I don't want him to feel outside.
It's very important when you're dating to have these uncomfortable conversations.
I know you're first, you think about her.
No. One day I like it that he's a Muslim. I hope, you know, a screw, because they're very disciplined.
Let's chill. Hello, bonjour, hola, sani bonani, namaste. Welcome, Chaplin chillers. Yesterday, I am the ghost lady. You cannot see me, but I can. And we have today Sunshine. Well, that's what we call her. She's a Sheila, but you know, we call her Sunshine because she's our sunshine. And of course, Mr. Chaplin. Today, we're coming back with a banger episode. We just want to talk about navigating relationships, and we're gonna get a younger person's perspective. How cool is that? Yes, so I'm gonna bring in the panel today because we have a panel. LJ and Sheila, they're gonna tell us what they think. So we're gonna let's talk about making boundaries clear because we're talking relationships, right? And more than anything, dating. What happens in the dating scene? So let's talk relationships. Let's talk making clear boundaries. So now the scenario is, Sheila, you're dating now.
Yes.
So that's why we pulled you in, because we feel like
Gotta break up the monotony, you know what I'm saying?
no, because she's dating and she's young and we're old.
Yes.
You know, so she's got a clearer understanding what happens in the 21st century dating.
But it's not like a younger perspective as well.
Right. Yeah, clear understanding of what
Yes.
happens. Because, you know, these kids are woke now, so they want to hear the woke side. Like, I remember when we were dating, I mean, not me and your uncle, but just dating, we struggled with boundaries. You know, well, I, for one, struggle with boundaries. You know, and I didn't know where to draw the line. I allowed my partner to just try to change me, and I also try to change him because I had this idea of this guy that I wanted to date. And now that I'm older, I realize, I can't do that. You know, at your age, how old are you again?
I'm 19.
What? You're still a teenager?
Yeah.
I'm thinking 21. I don't know where I'm getting 21 from.
I'm like 20 next January.
Can you imagine? So at 19, that's like a totally different ball game in dating. Let's talk. How do you guys
Set boundaries.
at 19?
I don't know. Like, okay, I don't know how to explain it, but like when me and my boyfriend, when we first.
He got a boyfriend.
I know.
I can't get my head around that.
Okay.
Is she not grown now? She's in college. Okay, it's okay.
When me and him first started talking, like, I don't know. I guess we were just like trying to like look for something that like we weren't trying to just go back to like what we had before. Like, I know the past people I used to talk to, like, they just really wanted to just like use you for like sexual reasons or like use you as a crush. So, like, I made it clear that like I wasn't gonna do that. Like, I had boundaries. I was like, you wouldn't see me past this time, or like I could only see you during a certain time, and then I would go home. And there'd be times that like I would like spend the night with him at his dorm or whatever. Like we'll just be watching movies and stuff.
So what?
Spend the night at his dorm.
So what? Rewind. Oh God, I'm about to have palpitations. I'm not ready for this. Okay, all right, but you knew.
No, we kept everything PG-13.
Okay, good. And then that's good because over 18, I'll be like, oh, okay. But
no, I made that clear. I was like, no, we just met. I don't.
But let's talk about that. How did you make that clear? How did you how much older is he?
I'm actually 8 months older than him. He's still 18.
I'm
not a cool girl.
She's a cool girl. Okay, at least he's a bit younger than you, so you are able to like talk to him as an equal.
Yeah.
So when you're dating somebody older,
it's different because like they have like that mindset that they're older.
Right. So talk to us more about that. How, like, because I know at 19 your hormones are jumping up and down.
Yeah, I had to basically when we first started talking, we was like we're just gonna take things slow. Like if it progressed in us being together, then that's just what it did. If it progressed in us just being friends, that's just what it was. He wasn't trying to rush anything because he felt like trust was the most important thing in a relationship, and he felt like he couldn't be with me if he didn't trust me. And my important thing was like him understanding like what I expect out of him and want out of him, and like basically like him just like trying to be, you know, a man, basically like be something that I didn't experience growing up. So that's what like we were just talking about. So we just made that clear. Like we didn't really make things official until like April because we started talking in February because he said he really had to trust me, like stuff like that. So like he just made it clear that like we would go on dates and stuff, but like I wouldn't get like the full part of him until like he really trusted me. And I understand that, I respected that. And every time I'm like, well dang, we just gonna hurry up and trust me. But like I couldn't rush his process of, you know, being with me.
So can I just
you shouldn't rush anyway because you're still in school.
Yeah.
But also just going back to the trust, what did he put out there exactly? What was the issue? Like, because trust comes in different forms.
Yeah, like he said that like just like trusting me with like his heart and like his emotions and stuff. That was
the guy's heart has been broken many times.
He just had like runners, like he had his heart broken last year. That's why
childhood traumas as well.
Yeah. So then like, you know, he was just like, you know, I have to really be like able to like give you my all, and I don't want us to be together if I can't do that. And I respected that.
Yeah.
And me, I was just going with the flow because like that was like my, not really my first relationship, but like a first relationship with like
a real one.
Yeah, like a real one, not something in high school or something like that.
Yeah. So let's talk understanding personal limits. Adult perspective about that. You know, because like we mentioned, I think in the last episode we spoke about when it comes to marriage, people just don't understand personal limits. They just want to change you. You wanted to change me a lot, and I wanted to change you a lot, and I still want to change. And you still want to change me. I guess that's what's happening in marriages. But how do we get to a point where we're understanding each other now, like where we come to a mutual understanding, you know, where we're not trying to change each other? Talk to us about that, you two.
We're not trying. Well. Again, you gotta understand, right? Because you know when you. That's why you want to talk we always talk about open communication is key. It's very important to have these different communications. So that we able to what was it again? What did you say?
Oh, you're not listening. You're not a good listener now. I see. So personal limits. About personal limits. How do we get to that mutual understanding that don't cross my boundaries? Because this is what I like. This is who I am. Versus you trying to change me to become who you are. Because that's what happens in most relationships.
Yeah, again, that's what it comes with the communication part when you're getting to know each other. And that's why we talk about open communication, ask enough questions. One thing I want to ask you, Sasha, what kind of questions are y'all talking about? You know, are y'all, because it's very important when you setting these limits and you setting these different boundaries. You haven't all, because you gotta remember, you calculated data. This is data that you're using to see if you want to be with this person or not. You know, this is data to see if this person is the right, he or she had the right frame of mind, or if they're crazy or not. You know, because you can.
Because at that age, you're not checking credit score.
Yeah, you're right. Because they don't have one. Right. So you know, and so this is why, like I said, the limits. When you're dating, you're going out. If that person is respected, you say at a certain time you got to go home, because sometimes men they're trying to force the limit and like, oh let's do this, and that's a sign, that's a red flag. If that person if you say no, you know, this is the time that we going home, then if you don't respect that, you know, then you know, okay, you know what, he don't respect he don't respect what I'm saying or what I'm doing. Even women as well. If a man say, okay, this is the cutoff, but if the women keep forcing the issue, you know, then I let you know that's these are different red flags that you have to pay attention to, because if they doing it now, they're gonna do it. It's gonna get worse.
Gets worse.
It's getting worse when they get married.
It's like, I think it's like a person who's in an abusive relationship. They say that first slap.
It was one time.
They say that.
Yeah.
But and the person who's being abused says, "Oh, he apologized. It won't happen again. It was a mistake." The thing is, it will happen again.
It will happen.
And again and again. And finally it becomes not just a slap, it becomes a punch. It becomes a kick, it becomes a push, it becomes a gunshot, it becomes a wound, it becomes death. People die.
You gotta remember, if you're doing it and while you're dating and when you're talking to somebody, you know,
he'll change.
Yeah, no, because you gotta remember, I don't know why something we might talk about when you get married, something just click. Yeah. And they feel like they're more controlling or whatever. I don't know. Something about the papers, that certificate does.
Yeah. And that's why we said, like, some people date for 10 years and then get married, get divorced after 2 months. It happens.
Yeah. So, and these are signs, you know, like, these are different signs, these limits, you know, where respect, you should not be hitting one another. If someone is punching or smacking, you run. Because if they doing it when you're dating, eventually, if you forgive, like, I forgive you. Then remember when you're a kid, remember what you're like when you're a child. You know how it is when you did something that you know is bound for a beating, and you feel like, oh, I got away with that. What happened? You say, oh, I can do that again.
Yeah.
That's the same thing in a relationship. And once they feel like, oh, you know what? I can get away with this. So it's like
push their limits.
They push their limits. And you're like, when you cheat one time, if the person cheat or whatever, and you allow it and you forgive them, like, oh, okay, I can do it again because they will.
It becomes a pattern.
Yeah, they will keep forcing the issue. They would keep pushing the issue to go further and further. And they say, okay, let me see, can I go a little more and see what she'll forgive me. Yeah. And so or he see what he forgive me. So, you know, but this is why communication is very vital. You gotta ask the question. This is all about the questions.
So tell us, because you keep saying questions. What kind of questions? And this is just to help Sheila as well. Like, what are the questions that one needs to ask when in a relationship?
Yeah, definitely want to ask like questions like, what you want to do?
Have you killed anyone yet? Before? Do you own a gun? Because this is America, y'all.
Yeah, but where you going? Where you like to be in 5 years? What is your goal?
I can lie about that.
Another thing, you talk about different family, like your family, like, you know, how was you raised? You know, did you had a 2-family home, a single family, you know, things like that. And then as you begin to, remember, you're collecting data. That's why you continue to ask these different questions. Because
let's hear from a younger perspective. How have you collected this data?
Well, first off, I don't know why, but our first conversation was about religion. He made it clear that he is Muslim, and like, I'm Christian, so like, that was the first thing. Like, it didn't really set me off because, I don't know, it really didn't matter to me.
Right.
But then like, I really just asked him like how his mother was. I don't know why, but something told me to ask him. I was like, oh, like, what's your relationship with your mom? And he was like, oh, you know, I love my mom, but like, his mom is, I don't know how to explain it, but like, his mom is like a living person, but she has her days and she's just like mad at the world. Yeah, so like,
single mom?
Yeah, single mom.
She Muslim too?
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
Single mom. His dad is Christian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was like the switch. So his mom is a single mother. She just had a baby recently, so I think she's going through postpartum depression.
Yeah.
So she's taking it out on them. But he told me that they have like a good relationship. It's just like when she's in her moods, he just try to
stay away.
Yeah, stay away. So I just asked him like how his mom was like throughout his childhood, and you know, he said that his mom was always loving, always there for him. She had her moods, but you know, it was like, you know,
bearable.
Like, bearable part of life.
So why was it important for you to find out about the relationship between him and his mom?
Because I feel like how you treat your mother is how you treat a woman. Like, if you don't really talk about your mom like that, or like you don't care about her, or like you just don't show her respect, then I feel like what would be the difference between me? That's your mother.
Right.
So unless there's like a special circumstance or like something like that, like something that warned you to not want to show your mom respect.
Right.
I would, but I just asked him like how his relationship was with his mom. And then like I don't know, I was asking people this like, what are you in school for? I asked him his major, like we're kind of in the same science field.
Right.
And like I just asked him how many siblings he had.
Right. Because you wanted to see.
No, I asked him more stuff, but it was just like, that was like the first couple of questions I asked him. And then I asked him like, what did I ask him? This was a while ago, back in February. I had asked
a while ago, February?
Yeah, I know, right? and you watch the movie together, because that's the emotional part. Everyone wanting quick to go to the feelings part, but it's very vital to get the questions out the way and to ask enough questions.
Then I had like asked him like how long ago was his last relationship.
Yeah, that's an important one.
Stuff like that.
So that you know that you're not a rebound.
Yeah. I don't know why I asked him this. But I had.
Has he had sex before?
Yeah, I asked him how many people he had sex with. Stuff like that.
Yeah, body counts. We don't want them.
I had asked him that. It was just like a lot of stuff. I asked him, I was like, oh, what's your body count?
Oh, you did ask the body count?
Yeah, I did ask
him. So it is a question?
Yeah, it is.
See, I'm with the 2000s. I am with them.
I asked him, like, it's not like, I don't know, for me, I feel like he's a football player and he's, I don't know, college like makes you do wild stuff, and like I can't expect a boy's body count to like be in like the 2s, 3s, 4s. Like,
what's your body count? I'm kidding. Don't answer that. I don't want your uncle fainting.
I hope it's 0.
So then he had like told me his body count. I was like,
okay. He has a body count.
He has a body count. He is not a virgin.
So how does he feel the fact that, because I know having the conversation that we had with you, and then we're coming to our second point about open communication, because that's a really important question to ask.
Yes.
How do you feel knowing that he's got a body count and you telling him to wait? How does that make you, like, don't you think that he's gonna probably go out there and meet other people who are not gonna make him wait?
If he respect you here.
I just, like, we talked about it, and I was just like, well, if your plan is to like not be loyal to me while we're trying to get to know each other, or like if you're still sleeping around with people, make that known so I can move accordingly.
Right.
We're not together, we're still getting to know each other. So if you are sleeping with somebody, make that known so like I'm not putting my all into something that's probably not gonna last if you're still sleeping with someone. And he was like, no, like the last time when we met, he was like the last time he had sex was like a month or 2. So like
that's not very short.
I know. So then I was like, oh, hold on now. I was like, dang.
Dating is tricky.
I was like, you kind of make me not want to be with you. You just give it up like that. Dang.
Yeah.
But then I had talked about, I was like, like, I'm not rushing to like have sex or be sexually active with you because we just met.
Yeah.
And like, it's just something I don't know. Like, I just told him like I wasn't in a rush, and he was like, that's fine. We don't have to be in a rush. And like, I made him get tested.
Good. Tested for?
Like all STDs, like all that. So he came back clean. So that was that.
Yeah.
But that was just something like I was like, no.
So how do you get to that conversation? Because we're talking like boundaries and communication. How do you get to say, I need you to go get tested?
Well,
because I remember I did it once with one of my ex-boyfriends, and I was panicking for some reason. I thought this guy was positive. Like I don't know why. It just got into my head. Oh my God, he might have given it. Of course we use protection, but still, in my mind I was like, oh my God. And the guy got tested, came back clean, but it was such a hard conversation because he felt like, so you think I would be sleeping around like that, But it's something that I needed to know so that my mind is clear to say, we're clean here. So how do you get to that conversation? Because I know it was tricky for me.
Well, it was really hard because he's very open. Like, he's an open person. Like,
good.
And like, he doesn't try to spit my feelings. That's like a good and bad thing because sometimes I be wanting to just, sugarcoat some stuff.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that. So like, I had straight up asked him like when I was like comfortable, like after like a good month or 2, well maybe not a month. I think after like a month or so of us talking, I was like, I was like, oh, when's the last time you had sex? Then I was like, I want you to get tested. And he was like, okay, I'll get tested. So he went to his school nurse and then he got tested and then that was that. So it was like an easy going process. It wasn't nothing hard.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm getting from you is that communicate. No matter how hard the questions can be or
Yeah.
but just put it out there, because assumptions are never good. Because you end up thinking, oh my God, like it's just not good. Just communicate. Now, we're here establishing mutual expectations, because I think it's important to establish mutual expectations in a relationship, right? Because it helps just to set the stage for a shared vision. You guys are still very young. I mean, he's 18, you're 19. I don't think you're planning marriage at this age. If you were, I would definitely dispute it. I would go to court for it and say it ain't happening, because I feel like you still need to live, yes, you guys like each other. I won't even take it to love yet at 18, 19. I don't think it's love.
Yeah. Especially if he just had sex with
somebody a month ago before meeting them.
Because sometimes, like I said, again, God said that
So, and also I'm a strong believer of just going out there and enjoying life.
Yes.
You still have so much out there. The world is so massive for you to explore. And I feel like marriage kind of...
Lock you in?
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but yeah, it locks you in,
But don't say it in a bad way.
Because what I did in my 20s, I wouldn't do now, married to you. Because also it depends who you're marrying, If I was married to somebody who's like, adventurous like me, let's go for it. And not somebody else think over it, and you have to plan over it for a month. Like, I'm the type of person who...
Spontaneous?
Yes! Let's do this. And then the planning will plan along the way, okay? So now marrying somebody who has to think things through, analyze it, for me, it kind of messes me up of my thinking as well, because I'm a spontaneous somebody and he's not. So going back to establishing the mutual expectations, I now know what to expect with you versus what I would do in a situation. Like I always go back to the airplane thing. When I jumped out of the plane, he stayed out at the hotel to pray for me. I went to jump.
Why didn't you just go with him?
And I was okay with that because I know the kind of person he is. And so it goes back to what we're saying, that trying not to change somebody and make them you. He was scared, okay? And I respected that. So stay and pray, honey. I'll go and have my fun. So how do you get to establish these mutual expectations? Yeah.
Let me think. I had to tell him, they call it, I had to tell him, basically, my love language. I was like, I'm a very touchy person.
Oh my God, I love that. You already know about love languages at this age?
Yeah.
Get out.
I had to tell him, I'm a very touchy person. I'm into romantic things. I love spending
Gifts.
quality. Yeah, I love quality time, stuff like that.
Tell us about your love languages.
Oh, like I said, I like quality time. I'm very touchy. I like romantic gestures. It don't even have to be something big. If you put the thought into it and you put me in the thought, then I love that. So I had to tell him that day. He told me his.
What it is?
His were physical touch, quality time. He said he is a gift giver, so he likes giving gifts. I told him not really big on receiving gifts.
Can I have him as my partner?
So then it was just it'll be times we'll just be, chilling at his door watching TV, or we're going to walk around his park at his school, or we'll just be talking, watching TV, stuff like that. And it's just the little stuff. So then I had to tell him you're not touchy, I get crazy. No, I'm just kidding. I was just touch is a big thing. I feel if you're not really touching with me, you're not attracted to me. So I had to tell him that. Then he told me his, and I just had to tell him I said he is Muslim, so I told him that
because as Muslims, they not even supposed to be having.
I know, right? Yeah.
They shouldn't even be dating. They go straight to marriage.
Marriage, yeah.
Faulty Muslim.
Yeah.
So I had to tell him converting, like, I didn't really want it. I'm not really into converting. He was like, he was fine
Because I
with
wanted
that.
to come to that in terms of expectations. You know, you're Christian, he's Muslim, and when you marry, automatically society tells us that a woman should convert and become, follow the man. So in your circumstance, say you're not 19, say you are at marrying age, and he says convert, would it be something that you're willing to do because you're willing to date somebody who's not Christian? And the Bible tells us that we shouldn't be unequally yoked. So what's your perspective with that?
Well, we talked about that already. Like the whole thing with marriage. He was like, he doesn't expect me to convert because in their religion, he can marry someone who's not Christian.
Really?
Yes.
Muslims?
Yes, he can marry someone who's not Christian. I mean, who's not Muslim, but the women have to marry someone who is in their religion.
Oh, so it's all about the woman.
Yeah, so like, I wouldn't really have to convert. It'll be like, oh, like, I want you to convert to something like that. It'll have to be like a personal thing or like something he wants from me. But he told me like,
I wonder how that works. That it has to be the woman and the man is okay.
But again, I want to jump into because I know we said unequally yoked. The thing is,
I know what you're gonna say.
Exactly, because it's okay if someone marries someone as Muslim, long they both have a mutual understanding.
I still disagree with you.
Long they both have a mutual expectation.
That just brings so much confusion.
No, it don't.
When the kids don't know what to do. What are they, Christian or Muslim?
That's why you talk things out. It's very important. We go back to communication. Because both parties understand, okay, I'm Christian, you're Muslim, I'm not converting. If you want me to convert, we're gonna end this now. And I'm not gonna.
But it becomes a different story when you're married now.
No.
When you're married, it feels like he owns you.
But gotta remember, we have family I have family who marry. They get along very well. It's all about communication. It's all about that respect issue. I have a few that, Harisa is a good one with her husband. She Christian, her husband something else. But guess what?
I don't even know what he is.
I don't know neither. But they respect each other. They get along very well.
Yeah.
So
and the kids lean more to the mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The kids lean more to the mom.
And I guess that's why Muslims say the woman must marry Muslim because they know that the children always lean to the mom.
To the mom. Yes, the women always lean to the mom.
Yeah.
And then another thing too, and I also have another cousin who married a Muslim. So let me know it can work. I know someone, when I first experienced it, that it could work, I knew someone that was Catholic and Baptist.
But still Christian.
Christian, I know, but but back in the day, we was like Pentecostal. But back then, that's when I finally like, oh, you know what? You don't have to be a Pentecostal to marry. Because here's the thing, you could be too Pentecostal and unequally yoked. Don't tell me that I gotta marry another Pentecostal.
Yeah.
You can still be unequally yoked because you can still have hell and you marry someone that's a Pentecostal.
Yeah.
So don't tell me.
We're preaching more. Hallelujah. All right.
Yeah, but it's all about, like you said, setting mutual expectations. That's why communication, you gotta throw all this, how many children you wanna have.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm Christian, you're Muslim, how are we gonna raise our children?
Yeah.
This all that you gotta have these different conversations. This is the.
But at 19, you can't be talking children.
But still, yeah, you can still.
At 19, you talk children?
Hold on, they talking, right? They dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, they dating.
Okay, she's here. What do you guys talk about at 19? Like, take us back to our night. I can't even remember when I turned 19. God.
Well,
Hey, this is like the birds and the bees talk.
he had introduced the conversation of like converting when we were at my house one day. My mother was at the house with us, like she was in her room like watching TV. We were in the living room just talking, and he was just like, "Oh, I could see myself marrying you," and I was like, I said,
after how many months of dating?
I was like, it's probably like after like a good 3. I was like,
3 weeks?
You should have asked
3 months.
You should have asked her how many other women he said that to.
I was just like,
Yeah, because men don't tell you what you want to hear.
yeah, I was like, oh, because like I never brought up marriage or like getting married or anything like that. So I was like, this really out the blue. I was like, you got something going on that you trying to like loop me into like, what are you doing? He was like, no, like, you know, like, I don't know. He was like, something about me. He's like, I have like I think he said a nurturing spirit, something like that. And he was just like, you know, I could just really see us being together, being married. And then I was like, but would I have to convert? He was like, I wouldn't expect you to, but that's a personal choice. Something like that. And then like, we talk about it like here and there. Like, he'd be the one to initiate the conversation because like, I just don't see myself getting married right now. And he was like, you know, after a while, like, we would eventually have to get married because in my religion, like, I'm not supposed to be dating you. I'm supposed to just be straight courting the male figure in your life and asking for your hand in marriage. And I was like, yeah, no, slow your roll. So then I was just like, oh, like, I don't see us being married in like not a couple months or like a year or two from now. I was like, he was like, why not? Like, you don't see yourself being married to me? I was like, it's not even that. I was just like, I don't know, to me, like, getting married young doesn't last. Yeah. It may have lasted back then because times are different. Yeah. But, like, now I feel like people get married young, like, it doesn't last. Yeah. So I was like, I told him, he was like, yeah, but you know, sometimes it does. And I was like, sometimes it doesn't. And, like, I don't want to risk my first marriage being, like, a divorce, and then I'm getting married again, a divorce, then I'm getting married again, a divorce, like, you know, like a constant cycle of like not being able to be with one person, because I feel like that's where it stems from. Yeah. So
if it asks you to marry him, you'll say no.
I told him I would say no. I was like, don't ask, because you're not gonna like the answer, you're gonna be embarrassed.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that, because that's already, he knows, going back to expectations, he knows that right now. But did you give him a time frame to say, okay, maybe at 25?
Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe when I graduate college. I was like, oh, well, maybe when I'm like 2 years stamped in my career, at like 26, 27, maybe 28, you could ask me. Yeah. And then I was like, and if we do get married, I don't want kids right away in our marriage. Yeah. Because I was like,
it takes away from the relationship.
Yeah, and I was like, like, first year of
and enjoying life. Yeah. And you're still young.
I was like, like, I wouldn't want us to have kids like a couple months after us being married, because like now we have to balance a new title to our marriage, kids, and like still trying to be our own person. Like, I just don't want to do that.
It is a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah. Now I like her thinking with that. Now, if you speaking to someone, you dating, you getting all the questions out, you know, I feel like if the mood is right, if you're still able to focus on 2 years, a year, if you're able to focus on what you plan, your goals, just the main thing, don't get distracted. Right. Don't let it distract you for pursuing what you're pursuing. Yeah. When you first got in the state, you know, stay
focused.
Stay focused on that. So even if the person proposed and you say yes, you're still building, you're still talking. He doing his thing, you're doing your thing. You're still talking, you're still building. You're going to school, you're getting your career going. Yeah. So and then you know. Again, you don't know if this person is a good person. You don't want to miss up on the opportunity as well. Right. So that's another thing you got to think about. Sometimes you could meet somebody.
And some people their first boyfriend becomes their husband.
Exactly. Yeah, for life. So
we can't really dispute that fact. That for some people it works.
Some people it works. Yeah.
So let's jump on to saying this podcast was powered by the Next
Opportunity Window. Yes, you see, we all about the community. This is what we about. This is how we learn. This is how we grow. We all about community. So I would like to ask you a question. Are you tired of going at it alone? Because guess what? You don't have to go at it alone. You know, you got a supportive community that got your back. This is what it's about. We can have the thought-provoking conversations, begin to ask these hard questions to help you out to go through the journey of life, to go through the journey of relationship, of business, whatever it is that you want to be. Because iron sharper iron. 2 is better than 1. And so the Next Opportunity Window is here to help. Yes, we is here to help. As a member, you have access to exclusive resources, tools, and support to help you achieve your goals. So I say, join us now and take the first step toward a brighter future. So you want a better future, you want a brighter future, take the first step, invest in yourself, better yourself, join the community, because guess what? We got a lot going on inside the community. It's happening. It's happening. Yes.
Well, you better join the community. The link is below in the description. Let's talk active listening.
Oh, yeah, that's another good one.
Because they say you better be it's better to have somebody who's a good listener than somebody who talks a lot. Because communication is all about 80% listening
Yes.
and 20%
speaking.
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 But most people have it the other way around.
Yes, the other way around.
And that's when the problems start.
Breaking down.
Right. Because now everybody wants to have an opinion.
Yes.
Which is good, but nobody is willing to listen. So we know that active listening involves us being being empathetic listeners.
Yes.
Which means, and my husband struggled with this a lot.
Oh, I struggle with it a lot. We all know I struggle with it a lot.
And thank God we're working through that because
Yes.
he was just, I'll say was because you almost,
I'm getting better. Yeah, I'm getting better.
Emotionally absent.
Yes, very emotionally
And he would just zone out. You talking to him and he'd be like in a different world. Like, hello, Earth Leonard.
Come back, LJ.
Leonard. So I've been telling him over and over again how important it is to be an empathetic listener. Empathetic meaning you put yourself in the person's shoes. And understand where they're coming from. Yes, where they're coming from and why they're saying what they say. You might dismiss it as you're just being too emotional, and men do this a lot. So I want to hear from and teenwood. Is it the same thing when you're in your 40s? Like, because there's a lot of dismissal that happens in relationships. Men feel like, oh, you're just being too emotional. You're just a crybaby. What happens?
I don't know. I think I'm the one who's like kind of dismissive. But
really?
Yeah. He'll tell me
Tables
something.
are turned.
And I'll just be like, you're upset about this? Like, that's what I would say. Like, we've had runners when I'll be like, this what you're mad about? Like, I would just say
Let's talk about that shit. Let's go back there.
We worked on it. So, like, I'm kind of like I said, I'm very touchy. So, like, I get in moods and, like, I'm a very, like, emotional person sometimes. Like, it'll be like when I feel like, oh, you don't want to be bothering me, I'll just, like, stick to myself. I won't talk. And you'll get, like, minimal answers out of me, stuff like that. So he was like, you can't shut down. And he shuts down too when he's upset. And I understand being upset, you shutting down, but like I'll just shut down if I feel like.
So the shutdown takes on for how long? Goes on for how long?
So it depends on how petty we are. I'm not gonna lie.
We need to get this going.
So like my shutdown will probably be like, say like he did something, like he just like, I don't know. So we be at the park and he'll do stuff to like make me laugh. And like one thing will annoy me, so I'll just like shut up for like a good 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. 5 minutes is healthy.
And then he'll be like, sometimes he told me to say that he was like, when we in the car together and you cut your attitude, he'd be like, God, get me out this car. He was like, but I know it's just one of them moves. It's gonna be over in 10 minutes. And I was like, what be wrong with you? But I'm kind of like the one who's like,
I love that. He's observant.
Yeah, he's very observant. He is very observant. He was like, you'll catch your attitude and be quiet, but think I won't know. But I know everything. I was like,
that's good.
So like, I'll be the one who'll be like, you're upset about that? You're mad about this? Because like
let's talk about it. Let's put a pause. Why do you do that? Why? Because to me, and your uncle does it a lot. To me, that's dismissive. Like,
I know.
Be empathetic. Understand why I'm talking about this and why I'm complaining to you as my partner. And I need you to be an active listener
and reassure
and just reassure me.
Yeah. So like that's. We're still working on that.
But I'm getting tell us where do you think it comes from you?
I think like it's just like I don't know, like I guess like as a child having my feelings dismissed by certain adults or something like that. So like I feel like when people like bring up minuscule problems that I used to people bring up like minuscule problems that I probably would have complained about as a kid. Like I just like, you're upset about that, or like you're crying over this, or like you're complaining to me about that. Like really? Like I had posted something on Instagram. I used to be an Instagram warrior when we first I was always on Instagram. And I posted like it's not funny, but I had posted Instagram note saying that I needed a God-fearing man. Mind you, this was during Ramadan, so he was already like praying all the time, serving his Lord or whatever. He had got so mad that I said that. And the first thing that I said was,
you said this while dating him?
Yes. And I was like, that's why you're upset? That's exactly what I said. I was like, you're mad because I posted that on Instagram?
But why did you?
I don't know. Like I was just putting it out there for like any future references. Like it was just like something for me. Like I'm just gonna
putting it out in the universe.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna always need a God-fearing man. I wasn't neglecting that he wasn't a God-fearing man, but it was just like a personal message to me.
But did you communicate this to him?
No.
Because it goes back to that.
No, I did not communicate that to him. I just put the note up there and just kept moving about my day.
And this is what we're talking about. And I think this is the bottom line of this podcast is that let's communicate about everything. Let's not dismiss each other's feelings in any way. Because should you have communicated to say, you know what, like I would post stuff and tell you that, oh, I posted this by the way. Like, you know, I posted our picture today and you're like, and what does this mean? I know I dismissed you because I knew that you wouldn't really understand the back joke. Because it's a South African joke, right?
Oh.
But I try to explain to him everything, even when people respond in my language, I would translate to him and everything because I don't want him to feel outside. And I feel like for him that's important to know what's going on.
Yes.
And
I want to know.
And I want another person would dismiss it and say, oh, I can't be translating everything. You know what I mean? So with you made so much sense when you said, because I was dismissed as a young child. And that's like, it always
Go back.
There's always a root for it. There's always.
And always.
You know, there's always a reason why we act the way we act as adults.
Because most of us have these root causes. The reason why everyone have issues.
Childhood traumas are the worst.
Everyone, majority of people have, even those that have 2 family homes, they have something still that they do. So you know, and this and if you see certain things like, oh, okay, you're not acting like right, or you're not something going on there. It's because it wasn't.
There's a trigger.
Yeah, there's a trigger.
There's something that caused him. But I like the fact that Sunshine is actually acknowledging that, and she sees, because this will help you in future relationships.
Yes.
Yeah, so I just had to be like, he was like, you're not understanding why I'm mad, da, 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 da. And I was just like, dang, I need to stop.
So how would you have done it right? Let's just say.
I probably would have just told him what I was going to put on there from the jump to avoid any conflict.
Yeah.
Like, I had to like sense myself like, you know, you're not single anymore. You can't just put stuff on Instagram, just be funny or relatable or like, you know, just stuff like that. So like now like my Instagram is like kind of like, not censored, but it's like I'm mindful what I post on there now. But like we had to get over that. He was like, no, forget it, it's just fine. So I was like, no, like obviously like it's upsetting you. So like just tell me like what specifically about the note made you upset that he told me. And I was like, I'm sorry, you know.
What was it? I'm interested to know.
He just felt like I wasn't acknowledging him as being a God-fearing man. That's all. Like,
and even him being your man.
Yeah, like he just felt like
I need a God-fearing man. So who am I? What am I?
Yeah, my friend was like, you didn't say I have one. You said I need one. And she was like, you so wrong for that. I was like, dang, how was that? But
so what lesson did you learn out of that?
I don't know, not to be an Instagram warrior.
Besides that,
I guess like to just like, make my partner feel like that they're my partner. Like let him know that he's my boyfriend, or like that he is my man.
Assurance.
Like, yeah. So like we had we run into these
I think
issues.
also part of his love language is assurance.
Yeah,
yes,
affirmations.
Yeah, like he's really into that, and I'm just like, I speak through like touching or like doing stuff for you, but like vocally, like I'm not really. I know that I'm not like a vocal. Yeah, I really like you type person. I'm like, yeah, you make me feel like this type person. Like I'm not really like that, but he is. He'll be like, you make me feel so good when we're together, and I just like, oh really, like thank you. Like I don't know how to like
reciprocate it.
Yeah, or like be
in words.
Yeah, or like be like a vocal reassurer. Like my reassurance is do like action, spending time with you, being with you, giving you gifts, and like he understands that, but like he'd be like, yo, sometimes that is not gonna cut it.
Well, let me give you a tip how you could be affirming through words. It's just by sending a text message.
That's my love language too.
Yeah,
I love
just by sending a text message. You
and
know,
my husband does it so well. Yeah, he's a great affirmation. I mean, he just. Even when on my worst days, he'll be like, baby, you look beautiful. Baby, I love you, baby. And I don't respond because I'll be like mad or going through whatever. But I so appreciate it. It comes in and does something to me because it's my love language. So before you, I'm sorry, baby, to cut you off. Because you now know his love language, you should make an effort. Because he didn't used to be like that. He then understood because I serve him with his love languages. You know, so if I serve him, serve me.
Yeah, I understand.
Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, so, you know, definitely just sending text messages every so often. Like, you know, you don't have to do it every day, but sometimes say, you know, just thinking about you, you know, letting you know that I think you're a good man. I think that you focus on what you're doing. You want I see.
I thank God for you.
I thank God. I see.
A one-liner, 3 words.
Yeah, yeah, 3 lines, 3 words. Like I believe
Go
that
to
you're
Google,
the good.
copy something. I do that a lot.
And now you can use ChatGPT.
And now you can use ChatGPT. Give me some cues on what to, how to serve my man. Give him all these love languages.
Yeah, like we just had to establish like we gotta have those uncomfortable conversations.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very important when you're dating to have these uncomfortable conversations. Because I told you again. This is because when the emotions are involved, everything else is tainted. So I mean, you're gonna miss the red flags. You won't be able to have these critical conversations because of the emotions. So that's why I love online dating. That's because you can't see the individual. You gotta build a relationship before you actually see the person. Because once you see the person, you see how.
And you're able to lie like you did.
Huh? No, I did not lie.
Let's not get into that. Anyways.
I did not lie. Stop telling people that I lied.
He lied. Chaplins, he lied.
I did not lie.
He lied.
When I said I was outgoing.
You lied.
When I said I was outgoing.
You're not outgoing.
I am outgoing. I like traveling. I like doing things, but I am reserved too.
Maybe his outgoing is different from yours.
Exactly. That's the thing.
That's the thing.
Exactly. Your outgoing is different from my outgoing.
His outgoing is probably actually going out
to
doing
church.
Stuff.
No, I'm saying I like to travel. I do like to travel. I like traveling.
Moving on.
I like meeting new people. I only like meeting new people.
Moving on. So,
but it's critical though that always going back communication, because all you're doing is collecting data. You want to see how that.
And when you collect data, it goes to our last point in building an emotional intimacy.
Yes.
Because I really like that program on Netflix.
Love is Blind?
Yes. And you know why? Because what you were saying earlier or with online dating is that, because most of us get blinded by looks.
Yes, we get blinded by
looks. And looks can wither.
Yes.
No, looks wither.
Yes.
Somebody can get in an accident, God forbid. Somebody can get an illness, like with cousin.
Yes.
She just told us her husband is going through lupus
Yes,
and
yes.
unable to walk anymore. Would she have dated him knowing that? Probably not.
But he didn't always have it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That we don't foresee the future when you
Yes, you don't see the future.
marry
Yes.
somebody based on their looks. What if something because lupus is a major thing. Something like that happens. Alopecia is a major thing.
And it's both autoimmune disease.
It's an autoimmune disease. I'm just saying, cancer is a major thing. HIV is a major thing. Would you still date somebody or marry somebody knowing all these other things?
That can happen.
That could possibly happen in the future. And probably the answer to most of us would be no, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like Love is Blind is such a great program, and I'm not promoting it and they're not paying us. But I feel like based on what we're talking about building emotional intimacy, is that it's important to build that emotional connection first before even pursuing even your physical connection. Because that's why they say marry your best friend.
Yes.
Because if you're not, I like the fact that we can laugh at people, laugh at ourselves, because I'm married to my friend. When I'm not married to my friend, he doesn't understand my thinking.
Yes.
He doesn't understand. When I say, you make such lousy jokes, I'm supposed to laugh. Baby, have a sense of humor. It's actually not funny. But because you're my friend, I'm like, oh my God, just help him with his humor. Because he thinks it's funny, but he's not. But I understand that because he's my friend. If we weren't friends, then I would really be mad. Because it's such dry humor. So going back to building emotional intimacy, because that's so important in cultivating a strong relationship. An intimate relationship, and it gets so much sweeter when you go to the physical when the emotional is intact. What do you guys say about that?
Yeah, and another thing too that I wanted to say about that as well, because if building that emotional intimacy, because remember we talking about building data, we collecting data, we doing all the different communications, because if something happened, right? Let's say something happened. He or she came across your non-negotiables, or did something that like questionable, like nope, I can't take that. Now, what happens is if the emotion involved, like physical involved, it's going to be hard for you to walk away. It's going to be hard for you to walk away because now you're emotional soul ties. You're emotional, physically attached to him because you're soul tied, and it's going to be hard for you to walk away from.
Especially them first boyfriends.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to walk.
You know that I still think about my first boyfriend? He's married, but I still think about him. Is it normal?
No, it's not.
It's not normal?
No.
Not in a sexual way, but I was still like, I wonder what he's up to. Is that abnormal?
Listen, no.
Yeah, it's
No?
not cool.
Really?
Yeah, why you married now? What?
I know, and he's married. And I wouldn't go back to him. But I think it goes back to that soul tie thing. Because he was my first boyfriend. It's the first person that I had, intercourse with. I think you always.
I think you should be saying that.
It's different because you're a dude.
I think, because dudes are not emotional like us, right? And I'm saying this not because to spite you as my husband, but I'm saying because I don't even know what the dude is. I haven't seen him in like 20 years. And I don't plan to. I don't even know his socials. So don't think that I'm going behind your back. No, it won't happen. I respect that he's married as well. I'm married. But I'm just saying, but it does cross my mind. I wonder where he is. I wonder what he's doing. And I always hear women say, your first will always remain.
No, you know what?
I think that's the first soul tie you made.
I think that's normal. I think that part normal. Sometimes.
So I'm not crazy.
I think when you were dating somebody, you do question in the back of your mind. You want to know how they doing.
But I don't question the rest. I just question him. I guess like I'm saying.
You want to see if they're doing better than you
I don't
sometimes,
really.
or worse than you.
I don't really.
I don't know.
Because if I wanted to.
Some people be like that though. They be that low.
I'm saying that because I'm not following up on him. I'm not checking on social. I don't even know his social handles.
Yeah.
But and I'm being transparent right now. But at the back of my mind, it occasionally comes like, I wonder where he is, what he's doing. You know. But would I go and look for him actively? No, because I'm married and he's married.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm raising this is because Sunshine is at that age where she's with this first boyfriend who could possibly be her first soul tie.
Yes.
And how important it is to just be careful about that, because this person will always have a hook on you.
Yes.
I know you're first. You think about her.
No. No.
Because we're talking about building emotional intimacy, and you were intimate with this person physically.
Yeah. But no.
Are funny. His short responses are funny. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So let's talk about it as we close.
But this is why, again, you want to build, because you build the data, and like I said, your parental residence, it get blinded.
What is that?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Your mind?
No, your
Oh, when you
your
go
eyes.
physical.
It shields you from seeing. Because if you need to walk away, it's gonna be hard for you to walk away.
Like your common sense just leaves.
When you go physical.
Yes.
Before being attached to emotional.
Yes.
So like I was saying with this program, it helps you to love somebody before you see them in the physical. And I think that's the beauty about it. Because even when you get to see the physical person, and they might not be the person that you'd ordinarily fall in love with on the street, but now you're so connected emotionally.
Yes.
And you're looking at all the values and the beliefs.
Because y'all was able to connect
in a deeper level.
Yeah, in a deeper level. Because you only could connect really like that is through words and conversations. Because when you see it just that's flesh.
Yeah.
That's flesh. That's lust. Yes.
Yeah.
Physical is lust. There's no deeper connection with that. That's all lust and that's all flesh. You only could connect a real true relationship is through conversation. This is how you get to know a person. This is how
This means don't dismiss
each
other.
Yes.
I love that.
And this is how, another thing, this is how when you, like I said, you want to meet their family and see how they act. And you want to have these different, great thing. You want to see how people respond when they're angry.
Yeah.
Because if they're like, okay.
Have you had your first argument?
Pointy.
Oh, and did you like the person?
After? Yeah.
I just was annoyed. Like, I don't know. Like, our first argument, we didn't speak for like 3 days.
Woo!
Yeah.
Silent treatment?
But at least.
And then the second one, we didn't speak for 5 days.
Woo! Got worse.
Yeah, because like, I'm just one person, like, you're mad, I just give you your space. So he felt like, since he was the one who was mad, I should have been the one to check up on him. But to me, I felt like, you were mad. Why didn't you just come to me? Because I'm not the one who's mad. So it was miscommunication there.
Yes,
so we were just like, we did it 3 days and then we doubled it 5. Why?
Yeah, miscommunication.
So the first time it happened, you didn't talk about it?
The first time it happened, like, no, we really didn't. Like, he was just like, again, he was mad. Yeah. So he was just like.
But what did he do when he get mad? He just get mad.
He's the type of person to like shut down. So like, when he got mad for the time we didn't speak for 5 days, that on like it was like a week or 2 ago. It was on a Tuesday. We were together. He just shut down. Like, he didn't answer my questions. Didn't answer me. He like shut me out. He told me, he was like, when you get me upset sometimes to that point, like I mute you out. Like I don't hear anything you're saying.
What did you do, girl?
No, I don't know. I know what I did,
so, but it teaches you.
But it was just like miscommunication because I felt aware about something. Well, basically, I didn't want him sitting on my bed with sweaty gym clothes, and he still sat on my bed. So I caught like a little attitude about it because I don't like outside clothes in my bed. But then I let it go, and I guess like
no, that's good though. If you don't want no
that's what we were talking about at the beginning. Setting boundaries.
Yeah, I was just like, you know, how you do
and he
that.
gotta respect that.
So I got mad. So then he was just like,
I
gotta respect to him in 5 for 5 days.
I know, but you do gotta respect that.
He was just like, you know, I understand that.
And
that was
you could have easily said, "You mad about that? How does it feel?"
Yeah. So then he was just like, you know, I understand that like that was my fault. He was like, but like you had an attitude the whole day, and I was like, yeah, that was my fault. Like I apologize about it. Like I recognize that I was moody that day.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know, you didn't want to see me. You didn't have to see me. This and that. And I was just like, well, yeah, I just had a bad day at work, and I just took it on the wrong person. Like it was just bubbling over, and then like he was just doing stuff that was just like tick me off, and he knew it would tick me off, but he thought like it would tick me off in like a funny way.
Right.
So it was just like a lot of miscommunication that happened. I was just like, yeah.
So what are you getting? Because as we're rounding off now, what did you get out of this conversation?
Because it was a good conversation. Because having this conversation more regularly, I think it can help a lot of people to make the right decisions. Yeah. Because it's very important
talk.
Yeah, that's very
your head off.
Talk your head off. Yes, because you collecting.
You can never talk enough.
You can never talk enough.
But aren't we contradicting each other by saying? Listening is 80%, talking 20%, and then we're saying talk. Isn't that?
Well, I think that's for like your partner. You want them to listen 80% and talk 20, and they want you to listen 80% and talk 20. Like
Okay.
No, but here's the thing too. Talk. We're saying in a relationship, talk. We said you gotta be an active listener when you're talking to somebody,
just
right?
like you could take that information and like move on with it. When I speak, you listen. And hold it with you.
And not be quick to respond.
Yes, that's when the 80-20 comes about. But we say talk because this is how you collect data. You got to communicate. Because you got to remember, communication is listening and speaking. So again, remember, they talk, you listen. This is how you
you hold it in your
you
head.
hold it, and this is how you come up with a good response. But you're so quick to like, I gotta get there, and you're like, and you're not hearing them. That's not listening. So, but we saying talk. You gotta do it much, and having these conversations that often is this is how we learn how to date, because you know we can't listen to what society say what dating is. Oh, you know, man, you're a man if you got these men about it. No, that don't make you a man. That make you a hoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said it.
Okay. I don't know if I should go. I'm not sure.
I said it.
All right.
I said it.
Yeah.
I said it. Yes.
Okay, we heard you.
Yes. that don't make you a man because you can lay down and do it. No, that don't make you a man because you have a baby. You're still a male.
Right.
If you can't take care of the baby, you're a male.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, things happen when you order. So yes. So you gotta do enough talking because what society said what a man is and what society said what a woman is, you gotta do. No, don't believe that. Go back to the basis. Go back how the Bible said you should live your life, man and woman. And so I like that because one day I like it that he a Muslim. I hope a true because they very disciplined.
Yeah.
With their principles.
They like the army.
Yeah, they very disciplined about Muslims. They more disciplined than Christians.
Yeah.
With their beliefs and all. So that's one thing about Muslim. Muslim is very discipline.
Yeah.
So but the thing is, these conversations does help. And so yeah, what you learned from this conversation? Like my wife is saying.
Just like we kind of like based this already, but like just communication. Like there is a lot of miscommunication with us because we are young and like we're still stuck in our ways. Like and like we get petty and like I feel like that's normal for people our age. But like we just established like we're not gonna go like the days without speaking to each other. Like that's not happening. We upset. We say it in the moment. Get everything off your chest so we can figure out how to move past it. And just like you said, listening. Like there's times that he speak and he'll say something and like. I'll forget. I wouldn't forget on purpose, but it was in my mind. He was like, you don't listen to me. And I feel bad. Like, dang, I really don't listen to you. So stuff like that. Like, just keeping stuff in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
About what he says and what I say to him and stuff like that.
Yes. And always keep people outside. That's outside your relationship. Outside your relationship.
Yeah.
Don't bring nobody into your relationship. That just came to me. Don't bring nobody into your relationship because people can be jealous and you don't
not even jealousy. People make a lot of assumptions.
Yes.
And they project as well. People base their relationships or their experiences. And then they think it's gonna happen to you, whereas it's not really it. Anyway,
and sometimes people want what you have.
That's what you have. Be careful of best friends. Right. So thank you for listening.
Yes.
But don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to our channel.
Yes.
Press that red button, make it gray. Also leave a comment if you like what we spoke about. We really want to hear from you.
Yes.
But besides from that, we really want to be your friends on social media. Please follow me at Lady Season 1 on Instagram and
yes, you can follow me at Get Inspired by LJ and you can join the community at Next Opportunity Window.
Yes. So Sheila?
My Instagram is shorty named Shay.
Yes.
She has not changed it.
No. I don't change my Instagram name.
Yes.
But also you can listen to us on our audio platforms. Every podcast platform, you will find us there. Follow us, leave a comment, and rate us.
Yes, rate us. And so and like I said, if you enjoyed this video, check out the next video we have for you, the marriage dynamic, debunking the myth of the 50-50 equality. We say take care, thank you, and we'll see you on the next video.
Hasta la vista. Ghost Lady will be visible next time.
Yes. Bye-bye. Take care.